Pretty exciting news. Uber made a profit in 2023. That's right. Uber is now profitable for the first time, which is pretty exciting for them and the whole industry, really. But will others follow suit? We'll see. How did they do it? I'm going to kind of tell you. Basically, increased take rate and cut driver pay. That's how they did it. That's how they got profitable. According to Business Insider, they made more money than they spent in 2023. Operating profit reported of $1.1 billion versus a $1.8 billion loss in 2022. So what changed? Well, back in 2022, investors thought that Uber was on its way to profitability, but then COVID hit and the rides business collapsed. Rides is delivering people. And the deliveries is delivering items. So anyways, the rides business collapsed, demand for the deliveries spiked, but it was just enough to keep Uber afloat. Something needed to change. So the pandemic ended and Uber had a hard time finding drivers. They spent a ton trying to lure drivers back to them, which led to some big losses. The people that were driving Uber trips, delivering people, they found other jobs. There was nothing for them. So it was hard to get people back into doing it. So they lured them back, got their big losses, and then decided to do a bunch of cost cutting. In August 2022, Uber had its first quarter with a positive cash flow, but profitability was still elusive. They made some more changes and have started building a dominant position in both trips and delivery. Uber CEO finally found the right balance, and it's paying off. After years as a chronic money loser, they're now in the black. They're profitable for the first time since their IPO. The fight is not over, though. There are challenges worldwide, and Uber must keep reinventing itself and making changes to find the balance between costs and earnings. Will the drivers share in these profits? Probably not. That's how they got the profits, by cutting pay to the drivers. Uber has reduced the amount that they pay drivers, both trips and delivery, to allow for more profit for themselves. It's basically a race to the bottom for the drivers, who only have seconds to decide if they will accept or decline a low offer. Basically, the app goes off, it beeps, it shows you the offer. It does not give you very many details. You basically get to know what the restaurant is, how much the pay is going to be, the estimated amount, and how many miles you are from the restaurant. And it tells you some cross streets of where the customer is. And you can kind of glance at the map to see. But it's really hard to see all that, especially if you're driving. And it's hard to know exactly where you're taking that food to. So you have to really know your market. And a lot of the offers lately have been really, really low. $3, $4 offers. Who's going to do that? I don't care where you're taking the food. But there are people who take those. So, anyways, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, and click the little bell so you can be notified when I do another video. Let's move on. So, the drivers are being left out. U.S. price hikes and driver pay cuts lead to the record profitability. Uber hid the facts that drivers were being paid less by changing the way drivers are paid. They used to have more transparency, and you could see a lot of the details on the pay screen at the end of the week. It used to have a breakdown on how the pay was determined for distance and just different things. But now that's all gone, and basically you only see what Uber paid and what was added as a tip. And that's all the information that's shown on the pay screen. And how much did the pay go down? Well, the only official looking information, and I have not been able to verify this, but it said that driver pay was dropped per trip by about 12% year over year from 2022 down to 2023. It went down 12%. I think it was 11.9%. While expenses went up astronomically, fuel, car acquisition, maintenance, insurance, etc. So this is a chart that I found here. I'm not sure exactly how to read this, but to me, it looks like this is $1.40 per mile. This is in 2014. And then the amount per minute. So if it's going to take you 10 minutes, I guess you'd get $3.50. And if it was 4 miles, you would multiply this by 4, whatever that equals. Let's say 2 miles, $2.80. So you'd get $3.50 plus $2.80 back in 2014. Now, look at how much it's gone down. 2018, 2019, 2022. So, yeah, I don't know. So it's going to take you 10 minutes. So then it's going to be $2.10 plus 2 miles, $1.20. So that's all you're going to get paid plus the tip. So it's gone down quite a bit, while costs have gone up tremendously. So this is 2018 is in the blue and the green is 2023. So this is for maintenance. Look how much they're estimating how high the maintenance has grown since then. Here's fuel. It's missing this year here. Used car acquisition, the cost of buying a car. Insurance has skyrocketed. So all these costs have gone up while the pay has gone drastically down. That's how they became profitable. I mean, they have nothing to do with this portion of it, but the poor drivers do. You've got to take care of your car, pay for gas, etc. So, anyways, moving on. So the numbers. Growths in bookings and increased take rates across both food delivery and ride share. Revenue from trips rose 40% year over year, and deliveries rose 17% year over year. The trips take rate surged up to 29.3%, while delivery edged up to 19.6%. So they're taking a lot more money, and the revenue was a lot higher, and they're paying the drivers less. So that's kind of how it works. So they have some challenges, though. In the United States, specifically California, Uber's business model hinges on treating its drivers as independent contractors, not employees. There are legal battles to keep it that way, but if they are eventually forced to treat drivers as employees, it will be a catastrophic blow to Uber. It costs a lot more to have an employee versus an independent contractor. With employees, you have a lot of costs: payroll taxes, unemployment insurance, benefits like pension, sick pay, health insurance, and vacation time. When you have independent contractors, you don't have to pay for any of that. And this accounts for about 30% of the total amount that an employer pays. They say 66% is their salary, and 33% is all of this. So that's a lot of money. So, it's in their benefit to keep the drivers as independent contractors. But let me tell you, I think most independent contractors and most drivers want to keep it that way. If they wanted a job, they're going to go get a job somewhere. This gives you a lot of freedom. You can work when you want. When you don't want, you have the option to choose which deliveries you accept, where you're going to go, which restaurants you're going to go to, etc. So if you were an employee, you would just have to go wherever they told you to go. And many people don't want to do that, me included. Okay, so what's next? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Is this sort of gig work profitable for drivers? If not, are they finding other sources of income? They have to be, right? If you're not making enough, you got to find some other way to make some money. Luckily, I do this very part-time and just randomly. I do not rely on it to pay my bills. I have a full-time job, so I'm lucky. But a lot of people do rely on this money. This is their sole source of income. Uber is still attracting drivers, and hopefully Uber values them enough to pay them more. I don't think that's going to be the case, but maybe. The saddest part to me is that there will always be people who will accept and complete the really low-paying deliveries. So there's very little incentive for Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, etc. to raise pay. They don't need to. If people are accepting the low offers and still delivering the food, the customers are getting what they want, they don't need to raise pay. They can keep it low and the items will still get delivered. The people will still get picked up. So, yeah. Anyways, it is what it is, right? comments, questions. I want to thank you for watching. What do you think about all this? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Put it down in the comments below. Appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you again next time. Congrats to Uber.